world. My name is Rebecca, and welcome to the very first episode of Style for a Steal. Have you ever been trolling around the internet or on Pinterest and you see something that's really cute and you think, I can make that? Pfft, easy, I can make that. Or you're walking through a store and you see something that's really cute and you look at the price tag and you're like, oh no. And then you back away really slowly and think, maybe I could find something close. Maybe, possibly, for cheaper. Well, guess what? You can totally make it, and you can totally find it for cheaper. And I'm going to show you how. So this is the prerequisite part where I talk a lot and you don't listen and skip to the tutorial. I'm almost 30. I spent most of my 20s the poverty line doing God's work at an animal shelter. And now that I'm solidly middle class, I can afford to buy some nicer things, but I still don't want to. I don't want to spend that kind of money on stuff that I could easily make myself for much, much cheaper. So in subsequent episodes, I'll be showing you how to make stuff. I'll be showing you how to do really awesome bargain shopping. I have like a bargain fairy. She sits on my shoulder and shows me where all the bargains are, which is really awesome. But in this episode, as you probably guessed from the title, we're going to be making a tufted furry stool. Now you don't have to do a tufted stool. You could do something with sequins or sparkles or, I don't know, paisley? Is paisley still popular? I don't know. But I digress. I'm going to be showing you how to do a pretty inexpensive tufted furry stool that you can customize to yourself, because you may have seen them around. I saw a few at Hobby Lobby, but I didn't really like the color. I didn't like the shape. So I figured I'll try and make it myself. And why not videotape it? Because we videotape everything these days. Here we have some craft foam, so your stool isn't super hard. Of course you'll need some fur to cover the stool. Here's a marker to mark stuff with. Don't forget some craft spray adhesive to stick stuff down. You'll also need a staple gun, and don't forget to ask for help from an adult. Lastly, you'll need some scissors and a box cutter. And I'm really, really not kidding when I say if you are a child, ask your parents for help. Here she is, folks, our little stool. As you can see, she's, not in great shape. Pretty wobbly. That's gonna need some tightening. I don't know if you can see, but she's a little banged up. So we're gonna prime her and tighten her up, and that's what she said. And that little back thing has got to go. All right, so we have ventured out into the world. We're braving society because we have to go to the craft store. So we should be able to get most of the stuff that we need here. We may need to get spray paint somewhere else, but that's not a huge deal. It's not a deal breaker. This project doesn't require a whole lot, and depending on what you get, you should be able to get it at a pretty decent price. So let's go see what we can find. Good news! They have Nashville Predators fleece. If anybody out there is listening, dear Nashville Predators, please win the Stanley Cup. Okay, thanks, bye. Here's the foam that we need. It's pre-cut, 5 inches thick, and guess what? 50% off. Bonus! You would think that it would be easier to find fur. It is not. I'm having the hardest time. And I can't ask anybody for help because I have some social anxiety. Excellent. We finally found the fur. And side note, it was exactly where we started. So we spent a lot of time in this store for pretty much nothing. Super cool news. So the fur is 60% off because of a coupon that I got in the app. I love technology. All right, so all we have left is spray paint, and I've got to go to Wally World for something else anyway, so as much as I don't like to go to that big box store, we have to this time. So I'll meet you there. Okay, so we got everything that we needed. Also some stuff for another project that's coming up. So let's get out of here, okay? So we're here outside my mom's carport to do some painting because I don't have an outdoor space in my apartment. So we'll be laying down a tarp. I chose a rose gold spray paint for the legs of the stool. You can do any color you want. I chose the rose gold because it seemed, I don't know, fancier. So here we go. You can watch me in a time lapse. To make sure that your foam fits on top of your stool. So what I did here is I flipped the stool over and outlined it with a marker. That's it. Not rocket science. Well, would you look at that? It's time to cut out the foam. So grab your box cutter and try not to hurt yourself. Again, grab a parent. Well, it looks like I made a mess of that one side, so let's just clean it up a little bit, and again, be super careful. Do not cut yourself. Here's where that spray-on adhesive comes in handy. So you just really simply spray it on top of the stool and stick your foam right on it. Just make sure it's, pretty stuck on there before you continue. Oh look, it's the part where the camera goes out of focus and I have to put my face on screen to refocus it. So I know that this is still sped up, but essentially you're just eyeballing it and measuring the fabric so that it goes just over the lip of where you're going to be stapling it. That way you can mark it, cut it out, and it's exactly the amount you need, so you're not wasting any fabric and also not having to trim anything afterwards. Hey, it's that cool staple gun. So this is the fun part. You're going to be folding the fabric up around the stool onto the wooden part and just stapling it down. Easy, right? You can see here that I'm cutting up a corner. That's going to be so that we can fold the fabric over and kind of make like a fold like you would when you wrap a present and tuck it in. That way we don't have any loose edges. Oh, and this is where I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Please, watch my mind at work. see where I cut off a piece of the fabric to get rid of some of the bulk for when I inevitably figured out how to fold it over. What I ended up doing was folding part of the fabric along the other side of the stool and then folding the other part around and stapling it over top of the other places that I'd already stapled to kind of make a seamless transition so you didn't see any part of the foam. This is the part where I cut off too much of the fabric for my corner so it won't fold over and hide all of the foam. I don't know if you can see, I'm very irritated with myself, but don't worry, we'll fix it later. I told you we'd fix it. So I didn't get all of this on camera because I didn't put my hair up and it was in the way, and I'm very sorry. But essentially, I just hot glued it to the foam. You really can't tell. That's the beauty of fur. It hides all of your mistakes. So we did it. We made a furry stool. Why do you look so terrified? This is Marty. That's Prue. They're my dogs. Prue's picture's back there. She's adorable. But we made a stool, and goodbye. Oh, goodbye. And it was about $20 cheaper than the ones that I saw in Hobby Lobby, and it's the way that I like it. So I ended up spending about $30 all in all, and that's it. That's everything. These outros are dumb. Finger gun?